My goodness, I think for the first time in this podcast's history, we went live and the panel was silent. Yo, what is going on, everybody in the chat? Next podcast is definitely live. I cannot wait to get into today's show, because every once in a while, when it comes to gaming news, it becomes gaming heavy. So it's a lot about games that are coming out, DLC dropping, stuff like that. And, when it comes down to it, it's good to talk about, the new kind of like consoles around the corner and stuff. But the main thing that, really kind of pushes the industry and the community forward is talk about games and playing games. And that is exactly what this show is about. But we can't go into the topics without the intros. And before that, just real quick, I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it right now. I got to hit that thumbs up button if you don't mind, guys, because YouTube does not like to do their job. Please share the show out on social media wherever you go to talk games. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's get this sucker rolling. Let's get a lot of people into the chat talking about games. And while that's going on, let me get into the introductions. I'm going to introduce this man first because he is going to be off for like the next 2 weeks after this. He is coming live from the 405, and he's just trying to talk to the intelligent gamers out there, that bleeding edge connoisseur, K Mega
Bleeding Edge.
Checking my watch.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Wow.
No. Oh, and I could have went longer if I wanted to. That's good lungs. I'm sure you can't do that, bot. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Them drinking all them cigarettes and shit. Can't do that.
Dude, I haven't touched a cigarette in 3 years, bro.
All right, maybe. But anyway, Bleeding Edge for the win, baby. And before I even say anything else, I got to give a big shout out to Lucifer, man. Appreciate it. Not the devil, but my man Lou. And, hooking me up with Power Rangers, the Power Rangers game. And then my man Sleepy Goblin, hooked me up with Darksiders Genesis. Man, appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, man, I'm going to play the hell out of those games after I get done.
I was going to say, have you even tried them? Because, the Bleeding Edge beta is going on. I see so many people on my friends list actually playing that. Have you even tried those 2 new games that you got?
I tried a little bit of the grid of Power Rangers, but just maybe a few minutes because it was during after the stream, and it was already like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just played like about 5 minutes of it. But I haven't got a chance to start Darksiders yet, but I definitely plan on doing it, man. But I'm just having too much fun with Bleeding Edge. Played some Gears, that was fun. So just gaming, having a good time, man, and gonna enjoy this time off, man. It's gonna be great.
That's what it's all about, bro. And, people, I think some people out there forget that gaming, you're supposed to have fun with it above everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. All that outside noise. If not any game is meant for, not one game is meant for everybody, but it does have whatever game that it may be, it has a place. And for me, Bleeding Edge has a place. I love that game, man, and I can't wait for it to drop, man. Day one. For sure.
Nice. I just real quick want to shout out my brother, Mr. Monkey Punch Monkey. Crispy, brother, it is good to see you in the chat. Nice and early too, man. He has been with us for a long time. A bunch of other people in the chat have been with us as well. But on that note, let's get to the next intro. And this man, you might know him as a hardcore Gears fan, but I will let you know something right now. His girlfriend whooped his ass in Mortal Kombat many times yesterday. Yes, it is Crispy!
Oh, you bastard. You just threw it right in there. I did. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, she did. But keep in mind, I was random character selecting.
Oh, don't do that.
She was using Jade the whole time. And I told her, I was like, so many people just use one character, and I don't do that, so take advantage of this. And eventually, she started kicking my butt. And I was like, well, see? I told her, I kept telling her when she first started playing, I was like, you know what? You need to block more. Now she's blocking so much that I can't even hit her.
That was the issue I had playing against K Mega. He likes to block and then grab you. Like, that's his main like two things right there is block and grab you.
Yeah. So she enjoyed it, and you know, we had a great Valentine's Day. I hope everybody in the chat, you know, all you guys had a great Valentine's Day. I mean, it was fun for me. I mean, I've never had that. Never had somebody else sit down and play a video game with me, you know, after sharing all the love. Aww. You know, just be like, let's kick that shit out of each other. Let's go.
Oh, it's all cute, pink hearts and teddy bears and stuff, and then Mortal Kombat.
Yes, there you go.
Nice. I just want to let you know, Crispy, I am trying to become your girl's favorite podcast. By the way, so when it comes down to it, she whooped your ass because she is just that good, and that's all that needs to be said about that.
All right. I'll leave it be at there, right there. Then we'll just all right. Move on.
All right. Next on the list, of course, you know he is a part of the starting lineup here every Saturday. A true gamer really gets into like military, first person shooter, third person shooter type games, and he gets into the business side of the video game industry as well. My brother Predator.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? A little sick tonight, so if I sound kind of crazy, that's why. But I'm still here, still doing the damn thing, so let's get this shit going.
I think I gave you some of my coronavirus, man.
Yeah, I think you did.
Dude, I was sick for like a week. Yeah, yeah, and I'm still not like 100%, but I am feeling a lot better than I was like, say, you know, last Saturday. So, but yeah, we got a lot of stuff to get into, and I didn't put this in our topics, but man, we got to talk about it because a new game has released. It's a game that people have been talking about for a few years because it's been in development for quite a while, but a title for the PS4 called Dreams, made by Media Molecule, has officially released, and I gotta say, from what I'm seeing on social media, there's a lot of people that are really getting into this game. For people who don't know, it is a game where you make your own experience, okay? Now, they do have kind of like their story. It's kind of like a 3-stage story. It's about a musician that kind of lost his love for art, all right? And so the smaller kind of like story that's there, you go through kind of like 3 missions where they tackle why he lost that love. They go into his like childhood nightmares, stuff like that. But then after that, I guess the main meat of this game is you can basically create anything you want to create, whether it's a picture of an apple and that's just what you're doing and you're just trying to make it as realistic as possible, or I saw on Twitter somebody is recreating Dead Space in Dreams. It's one of those games. Let's get into what the people on the panel think about this first, and then I'm gonna go into what I saw from some of the reviewers who were reviewing this game for the gaming media, like the IGNs and stuff like that. So let's go to K Mega first. Mega, like I know you like to kind of get into all sorts of games, all different genres and stuff like that. What do you think about what you've seen from Dream so far? Does this look like something that you can possibly pick up and and create your own, OKC kind of like, video game, coming from your area? What do you think, man?
Yeah, no, it was brought up to my attention a while back, about 2-3 years ago, actually, and then I kind of just went away, didn't hear anything else about it, and the thing that caught me off guard was because they was showing a game, they was showing like this crazy city, and it was showing some people like they were like in flying cars or whatever. And I don't think it was playable. I just think it was just something that they made, and then it resurfaced again sometime last year. But I seen that, like I said, 3 years ago. Somebody was like, "Oh man, look, check this out!" And then at the time, people were talking about, "Well, hey, this game might be like, wide in the world with that they put out this game, and then like Xbox would get rid of Project Spark because this is pretty much the same game except that it's much more advanced because it came out here now and not when it first originally came
back
out
in
for the
2013,
Xbox. Yeah, back in 2013. And so, but no, it looks really promising. It's something that I definitely will pick up. I mean, I'm not going to try to make anything. I just go and do just like what I did with Project Spark. Just go play those mini games. If you know what I'm saying, I don't know how the difference between Project Spark and Dreams are, you know what I'm saying? I know that it's pretty much similar, but I'm saying in the sense of just going in, getting into a mode to where you see people's projects and then you could just pick them and things like that. I don't know if it's like that or not, but I definitely want to try it out because there were some cool mini games that I've seen people play. The one cool one that stuck with me the most was some big like Barney looking dinosaur that was eating up everything, and it had a laser beam coming out of his mouth. It was crazy. I thought that was really cute, but yeah, no, it looks really promising. I was trying to big it up to a couple of people that was on the PlayStation side, and now since I think that they seen that it has a high Metacritic score, now they want to love the game from a distance.
Oh,
and
so
call
it needed that number.
It needed one of those numbers. So it's going to be so if it doesn't sell well, then at least it's going to be a high Metacritic score. So then they can love it. So which it's unfortunate that some people actually look at things like that, but you know what I'm saying. But I do hope that the game succeeds. Seems like there was a lot of work and love put into it, and man, I hope the best for the game. I'll definitely pick it up. It ain't going to be something that I'll pick up here, something now or something. It'll be something I'll pick up later on, but I'll definitely give it a shot and play and show some gameplay of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, exactly, Chris.
Promising.
Meta who cares about the review score? Exactly, bro. Like I don't care. I don't think K Mega cares. He's saying that.
Yeah, so now like I said, I've talked about that. A young YouTuber that I had on GRG, Killer Rax, he talked about it. And I talked about it with, I think with, dang, I can't remember who else that I talked about with, but I talked about the game and was like, hey man, this game looks like it's really promising. And I mean, I think it's got a lot of potential. And of course, when I mentioned the game or showed something from on social media about the game, didn't get no traction from PlayStation fans. But of course, when you show a Metacritic score, then all of a sudden, then that starts to perk up some of those guys' ears. Not all PlayStation fans, but just the ones out there that's the stands, as I call them.
I know our boy Cali Rex. Our boy Cali Rex in the chat, man, he has been hyped for this game. He has been waiting.
Yes, Cali Rex has been very hyped for that game. No doubt about it.
I am very happy for him. But K-Mega, I just want to drop a little bit of knowledge on you because I think this is something that down the road you will pick up. I will let you know that this game is Move controller enabled. All right, so you can use the PlayStation kind of like move sticks with it. It's default kind of like controller setup. They want you to use the light bar and kind of like aim your little kind of like animal cursor and create that way. You could use your left thumbstick to move it if you set it up with that controller kind of like layout in mind. I'm hearing that like the move controls can be a little janky or whatnot, so that's something to kind of look at. I wouldn't
use those move controls in the first place. I mean, only games that I would look to try to play is games that's playable with the controller, and and it would be just those type of games like I just seen it too before I came on the show, was the Dead Space type game that somebody made, or just like I said, the city where they had the flying cars and everything. I would just like to add that and then give it a like, to support the hard work and dedication they put behind it. And I hope this game, I said this also, Cali Rex, since he's in here, he would definitely back me up on this one, because I said I would hope this game would get a PC release, because just think about how PC gamers are crazy with mods.
Oh yeah.
Just think what kind of insane things that they could do with in the PC world with this game. I would think that it would be outstanding if that game could get over there, and then maybe they have some kind of cross-play elements or some kind of game share elements to where PlayStation fans and PC fans can actually share their work, and then I would be definitely on board for that.
Okay, Cali Rex did state in the chat. Shout out to Cali Rex, by the way. A supporter. He is here a lot, hanging out with us during podcast live streams, stuff like that. So huge shout out to Cali. He said that Media Molecule, actually, the devs, they want the game on PC. They've stated that. So
yeah.
it's only a matter of time at that point.
It's only a matter of time. Yeah, I mean, it's just like with Kojima, what he wanted the game to be on, wanted Death Stranding to be on PC, and I think we're just going to see a lot of that in the future. Where, look, I mean, it's a huge market, and on top of that, there's so many great creators out there. That
got to get those active users, brother.
Yeah, well, it's more than active users. It's just that there's so many gamers out there on the PC in that mods, and they're so creative. That game would be perfect for the PC fan base, and I think that game will blow up like crazy. So I wish it all the best. Like I said, I will support it, not here now, but I definitely will get it, because those type of games always interest me.
Hang in with us, Others Inc. Hang in, okay, brother? One thing I will let people know, this game Dreams, it did take a long time in development, and they actually restructured the game. At first, you were supposed to make something, and then somebody else in the community was going to make the second part to that, and then somebody else was going to make the third part, and it was supposed to be different dreams kind of woven together. But they kind of scratched that and went with a more kind of Project Spark type, dream community, and you can go in and test out these things. But they actually had to restructure the game. I don't hear a lot of people talking about that, but I definitely remember when they had to go back kind of to the drawing board and kind of rethink their strategy with this. Crispy, what do you think about this, build your own game type game Dreams? Is this something that you might be interested in down the road here?
Can we get a round of applause for all the PlayStation gamers that are actually playing a different game? Yay! All right, let's
disrespectful.
Let's just say it like it is. Okay, here's what it is. It is a different game than that third-person story-driven, and it's got a better Metacritic than the Death Stranding, and people are loving it, and I applaud you for loving it. Okay, even though Project Spark, I actually played that way back when. And
we're gonna get into Project Spark on the second part of this.
But it's not that different. Yeah, you added a story in there. Big freaking whoop. You're still building games. Okay, that's the point. It's your dream game. Hello world. So in the end, all I gotta say is that I am glad to see so many PlayStation gamers throwing their narrative aside and saying, we love this game. Great. Good. Now, just when we love a game, can you relax a little?
Yeah.
Just saying. And I'm not trying to be a prick, but I mean, you call it like it is. And this is what it is. There are games that are not.
Sorry.
There are games that are not, in that same realm that are enjoyable. Holy crap. So let's relax with this narrative, because I've seen a lot of narratives getting shit on by PlayStation CEOs and such. So I'm sure we'll get into that. But in general, let's understand that we are gamers, okay, and we game. Like, if somebody likes Bleeding Edge, don't hate them for it. Don't tell them they're playing a trash game. How about you say, look, you're enjoying it. I don't agree with you. That's cool. You know what I mean? But we get so toxic, and we're not going to get, you guys like Dreams? Awesome. You know what I mean? I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, that's trash. That's trash. You know? Relax with that. Like, that's all I got to say about it. The narrative needs to change. Like, we are all love games, and that's what should matter.
And that is the quote of the night. We are all love games. Okay, just to let you people know out there. Yo, Predator, what do you think about the Dreams game, the kind of like make your own game type game? Is this something that you might be interested in picking up? You can make your own military shooter, brother. Pred, are you there?
What?
Oh,
yep,
there.
I'm here.
Oh, I thought you fell asleep or something, man. I don't know.
Shut up. Yeah, I've seen some gameplay, some footage of it, and it's like, I mean, it kind of reminds me of Project Spark. It wasn't, anything I was interested in back then. I'm not interested in it now. It'd be something to fuck around with for a little bit, but like, most games, like people pick it up, they'll play it for a while, they'll hype it up now, and in 6 months we won't be talking about this shit. So have fun with it now. Oh yeah, like we won't. People in here hyping this shit up right now ain't gonna be playing this shit in 6 months.
I know Cali Rex will. I know Cali.
There's a small group of people. Like K Meg was saying earlier, if this was something on PC, you start seeing those builds come out that PC community is gonna do. It's gonna be great. Like you'll see a bunch of shit you've never seen before. But the engagement, I don't think it's like you're just building. I mean, I personally, it's not my style of game. If you like it, I love it. So like,
I got you, brother. Well, let's move on to the second part of this, because like I said, I've been watching reviews. I've been trying to see kind of like the layout. I don't have a PS4, so I couldn't just automatically go in and, pick the game up and stuff like that. And I'm not going to invest in a PS4 in the same year that the Series X and the PlayStation 5 is coming out. Like that, to me, that doesn't make any sense. So, watching reviews and hearing, big gaming media, the IGNs and whatnot, I noticed something about these reviews that I want to talk to you guys about, because every time the corner turned on these reviews, I heard the people saying, this has never been done before. This is such a unique thing here. And I keep thinking how I was in 2014, 2013 into 2014, I was trying to create a game, create something in a game called Project Spark. And I'm like, how can people forget about one title that was pretty much doing the exact same thing, but was doing it, 6 years ago, basically. So, Crispy, what do you think about what the reviewers are saying here? Like, calling it a truly unique experience and stuff like that. Should we, as gamers, give them a pass on this? Because at the end of the day, Project Spark really didn't work out. They ended up, shutting down the servers and stuff like that. But, I mean, there was something that did this before Dreams did. Am I going insane, or am I right here?
You're right, and I can go back to, building your own park and Tony Hawk and stuff like that. Like they were niche concepts. You know what I mean? So we could sit here and say it has the greatest meta in the world, and I haven't played it, and I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, I haven't played it, but it's trash. It's not trash. I'm glad to see that there's another game that isn't what I feel is a reskin game half the time with PlayStation that people are praising. I enjoy seeing it, because in the end, I mean, who doesn't want to create their dream? You know what I mean? So that's kind of cool, but at the same time, like you said, the move controller, this and that is involved and stuff like that. Like that could be a deal breaker. I mean, from what I hear from every PlayStation owner that has move controllers, they're horrible. So I mean, that's why the
Project Spark had Kinect features as well. Like you can create your own animations and stuff using the Kinect And
okay, and
you
where
know,
were you at with that? I'm just saying, like, like Connect is dead and gone.
you
I'm
Connect
glad.
hater.
Well, I have a Connect. I hooked it up to my original Xbox One. So
So
it
you
did
have it? Do you
nothing
have it
for
hooked
me.
up now?
Hell no.
Why
I
not?
don't
You
need
can
that.
turn it on just with your voice. Why not?
Oh wow! Big whoop. You can do that with Alexa too now. So
I don't trust Alexa.
There's too much voice stuff nowadays. Like, I'm glad that Microsoft went that route and said, nope, we're done. But those move sticks look horrible. Like, even holding them, they just look stupid as hell. And it's like, if that's involved in the game, that's kind of sucks. I mean, especially if it's actually a big part of the game and you don't have them either, that's kind of a big deal too. So in the end, like, we could sit here and be like, oh, they did something great. Well, Project Spark did it a long time ago. And isn't it the same company?
No.
It's not the same company. It's
No.
a different company.
Yes.
So who made Project Spark?
I forget, but it wasn't Media Molecule. They basically, everything they do goes on PlayStation.
So what I'm thinking is that we have gotten to the point where your social aspect in a game like this has become a bigger thing, just like it should, because we all have phones now. We all have, we all can do whatever we want, socially through the internet. And I think, even in 2013, we weren't quite there yet. You know what I mean? And I think that's why this has caught on so well.
Well, Crispy, with that being said, I just want to ask you one more question before we move on to another panel member. With having a game that is basically a build your own game type game with Project Spark, do you think with Dreams, history does have a habit to repeat itself? And I'm not saying I want every game to succeed. That's a quality game. And if there's a community for it, I definitely want that. I want to see that community grow or whatnot. But do you think history might be bound to repeat itself in terms of, Dreams in comparison to Project Spark? Like Project Spark, the community started to dwindle to the point where Microsoft cut the servers and said kind of like, that's it. Do you think history will repeat itself here? Or do you think that because it's so far later that Dreams have come out, like a few years later, that it might be the perfect time for a game like this to come out?
Because you're sharing with other people, I think the biggest thing is that the people that will actually build and take the time to do that, it's just like everybody looks at, like most of us are RTS players, but people love that genre. You know what I'm saying? So in general, there will be people that will play it. The problem is you have The Last of Us coming out, you have other things. So I almost feel like some of these people that are playing it because there's nothing yet. You know what I mean? And when that next thing comes out, that's when the player base is going to die. And that almost goes for every game. I mean, we have to be honest. Gears 5 came out, then, this is going to come out, and Ori's going to come out, and you know what I mean?
I
and
can't wait for
all
Ori.
These Game Pass, and there's all these Game Pass games. You have the bleeding edge beta, in the Xbox ecosystem. All of a sudden, the next game is there, and it's in your face if you have Game Pass. You know what I mean? And you're going to try it. And that's something that's becomes almost niche. And, that's where I say the problem is for PlayStation is they don't have those games day and date in their ecosystem yet. You know what I mean? PlayStation now does not have their new launches in day and date. So eventually the player base is going to die.
They're still restructuring PlayStation now, by the way.
Well, so. We'll see, because we hear a lot of, smoke and shade. But in the end, if you're not going to continue to up that player base, then in the end, it's going to die, because you're going to go on to the next game that you might consider better. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at this point. I hope people stay into it. I hope it doesn't die like other games have. And, like we say, Mario Maker's a different demon because it is nostalgia. And this doesn't have the nostalgia. So you could compare it to Mario Maker, but in the end, that nostalgia of playing Mario and building those levels are totally different. And that's what carries a lot of Nintendo games, is that nostalgia.
All right, I got you. Pred, what do you think about the reviews? I don't know if you watch the reviews, but you can definitely take my word for it. Like, the reviewer constantly saying how unique this is, never before done, and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, I was trying to do this back in 2013, 2014. Like, why do you think they're saying that this game is such a unique game when, back in the day there was something pretty much exactly like it? Yeah.
Dude, I really can't answer that question for you. To be honest with you, I really don't want to waste any more time on this topic.
I see other zinc in there, man.
We have so much other better topics to talk about than this. But it's a Metacritic score, and we've seen before where, companies have given a game a shitty score and people love it, and we've seen it the other way around too. So, in my eyes, like, if you like that genre and you're interested in doing that stuff, don't let the score dictate how you feel about playing that game. We've had a game before. I see where you're going with it. We've had this game before. I think probably Dreams is probably doing it better than what Project Spark did back in the day. But I mean, we've seen this before, so I mean, I don't understand why they would say something like that. I guess maybe because Project Spark wasn't really as popular. But this game just came out, so I really can't even make that basis. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a PlayStation game. It always gets an extra 5 or 10 points anyway.
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of pissed me off because not for anything, but these people, they get paid either weekly or bi-weekly and they have all these connections in the gaming industry to not mess up something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're supposed to be a part of the industry where if a game comes out and it does have a similar, there was a similar game back in the day, not saying this new game is completely unique or whatnot, because it's not. It's really not. Like, a developer tried to do it before, and unfortunately, it just seemed like the community didn't support it. I don't know. K-Mega, what do you think about this, man? Like I said, I got upset, dude.
Yeah, briefly, I just want to, I kind of with Pred on this one, but I do want to just say that the people who made it was Team Dakota.
Okay.
They also, and then the other developers were Skybox Labs as well. So, listen, this is the difference between Project Spark and Dreams. Project Spark was not in the era of Game Pass or Play Anywhere. And Dreams will be in that same, will be in a different situation, because not only it's coming out at a later date and it's going to look more polished, look more modern, but it also is going to be played on the PC. If Project Sparks was able to be played on the PC as a Play Anywhere title when Xbox started doing that, then I think that we would see Project Spark become something completely different than what it was. And you're also looking at how the difference between both is Project Spark kind of had this same type of engine build. Like with Dreams, you can kind of use any type of engine or whatever within that game engine to where you can make games look completely different from what they look like.
That's
and
a great
Project
point.
Spark was going off of completely old ancient hardware, so everything kind of had that Fable-esque look to it.
It definitely looked like Fable, brother.
right. So that's two big reasons right there. But even with the older graphics and things like that, if that game hit PC and those modders got a hold of it and they had full reign, Project Spark would be still viable and Dreams will be viable, but it's not going to be viable if it's just a PlayStation 4 title. It will be one of those games kind of like Little Big Planet. That's great. It's cute. It's got a lot of it gets a lot of critics fanfare, but then it's going to also go away with the dodo. So it has to be PC is where these type of games will flourish, in my opinion. Not so much on the console space.
I definitely hope Media Molecule gets kind of like their request and the game does go to PC, because I definitely agree with you. If Project Spark was a Play Anywhere title that went to PC or whatnot, who knows where that game would be right now, because you know, PC, they're known for modding and stuff like that. They would mod a game that was a create a game, and I don't even know where it would end up at that point in time. But
Right.
it's good to see people having fun. It's good to see, you know, my boy Cali Rex out there having a blast. Dude, you gotta share with us your creations. I want to see what you're doing in that game. But
Absolutely.
guys,
And Supersonic Station. Like, I want to see what he does too. 'Cause
he'll
I
just
know
make
that
big titties, man.
said
That's all he
was
does.
talking
Yeah.
with Cali Rex about it. So kind of want to see what they could do, and they could probably make some kind of VR game, and y'all could try to throw that at me and say, "Hey, K Mega, get a VR headset," and I'm gonna say no, and then we just go back and forth.
I'm gonna say no. Yeah. Well, guys, on that note, we want, you know, there's people in the chat that want us to move on. Again, I am kind of upset with the gaming news media for not pointing out the fact that there was a game like this before time. But
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
huge shout out to the Dreams community out there, and our brother Cali Rex. It's good to see you happy, and that topic was for you, brother. But moving on, let's go to the announcement for an add-on for The Division 2. You know, a content drop, an expansion, if you will, called The Warlords of New York. Now, the funny thing about this is before they came out and announced this, on Xbox anyway, they were selling the original The Division 2, kind of like the regular edition game, for $3. And I saw a lot of people, you know, get the hookup for $3 and get a full-fledged, you know, Ubisoft title where a huge expansion is coming out. And I had to take notes on this because so much is in the works when it comes to this. Now, for people who don't know, Division 2, and Pred, I just want to let you know I'm going to you first on this because I feel this is a Predator topic right here. Warlords of New York is going to take place in Lower Manhattan, so it's going back to New York City, and I think that is a great move. It's a new map, Lower Manhattan. They're going to boost your level to level 40. Right now, your level cap is level 30, so they're going to bump that up for 10. But not only that, they're going to have the infinite progression system as well, where after you hit 40, you're going to be able to do things to kind of bring your level up higher than that. I've seen something like this done in Destiny 2 when it comes to something called the Artifact, that you can actually bring your level higher than the cap level. So they're going with that. New gear, new exotics, a talent storage. So if you get a weapon drop or an armor drop with a certain talent on it, instead of having to keep it in your inventory, there's kind of like a separate inventory called talent storage, where you can store the talent and use it on equipment that you get later on and stuff like that. So ways to kind of trim down your inventory. And sticky bombs are back, which I hear is a big thing in that community. People definitely wanted sticky bombs. So, Predator, what do you think about this expansion, man? Do you think it's gonna fix kind of like the things that people in the community have been complaining about with Division 2? Do you like what you're hearing right now, man?
So my deal with the Division 2. So, first of all, like, I think selling the original Division 2, not the expansion, for like $3 was genius, because it makes you want to buy it just because it's $3, right? So, but in order for you, and that's on every system, that's on PC, that's on Xbox, that's on PlayStation. So, in order for you to get the DLC, though, you have to actually buy that separately. So they're like, okay, let's get them involved in the Division 2.
Oh, it's not going to be a free expansion? I didn't see any price or anything.
No, $30.
It's like $30, yeah.
Oh, now I see what they're doing.
So it was like a genius marketing move, because now they give it to you for free, damn near for free. It's $3, and then you'll log on. You'll be like, oh, I want to play this other part too. Well, shit, it's $30, and now you just basically bought the Division 2 for $30 with the DLC. So it was a smart move, and I see what they did. They have a Ubisoft, they've been really good at expanding their games and out past their length. So I wasn't expecting this. To be honest with you, I was a season pass person. Because I love the Division. I got the whole thing. I'm kind of pissed that this isn't free because and I haven't picked up the Division. Jesus, man, since right before that raid came out, which was bullshit. So I haven't really fucked with it since the raid, and it was just too hard. It was too stupid. So I really haven't played it since then. I might hop back in it. I haven't decided if I want to pick it up or not. But I mean, it's a massive update. I think them going back to New York is awesome. I haven't really talked to a lot of people in the community lately to see how they feel about it. But I mean, for them to do this and expand the life of the game a little bit longer, and I don't know how long the story is, how many hours you got to put into it, but they're gonna fuck it up again later. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
They're gonna find a way.
Everybody's gonna get I remember when we were playing this shit, these good guns and shit like that, and then they'd fucking nerf them. And they'll turn around and do the same thing here. Like people will find a way to exploit everything, and they'll come back and make the weapons that you worked your ass off grinding for, getting multiple parts for the weapon to piece together. It will turn to garbage, and they'll just nerf it to something. I mean, I remember I went through and I have every single exotic, right, that they had at the time, and I grinded. It's like, I know how you feel about Destiny, right? You grind, and then one day, they put a patch out, and that gun that you worked your ass off to get,
it's no longer the meta.
It's not even good anymore.
No.
So they'll find a way to fuck it. It'll be fun the first 2 weeks, and then after that, it's like the original Division and Division 2. You're gonna go right back to the daily grind, and you're just gonna be like, okay, why am I playing this?
Pred, is that a Division 2 thing, or is that more a game as a service kind of like negative effect when it comes to it, man?
A little bit of both. I mean, all these game types like this, you can redo these games those levels over and over and over again. And with the Division, sometimes they make you come back. Okay, one of the guns that you had to get, I think it was a sniper. You couldn't only get that piece of the weapon at the beginning of the week. It would reset. You can get one piece of weapon per week, right? And they would tell you what piece it is. So you had to come back every week when the reset happened to get that other piece. And sometimes you might have to run through that mission 3 times to get it, if you're playing with a bunch of fuckboys. So so you would do that and you get the weapon. And like I said, you spend a month getting this motherfucker, and then it's useless after about another month or two. And it's all these games like Destiny, Division, those loot grinding games like that, they're repetitive in nature, but you get tired of doing the same thing over and 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 over again. And eventually you just put the game down until a new update comes out. So I think that's part of the way these games are built. There's unless you're just grinding for gear, for a specific piece of gear, just to say you have it, at the end of the day, in about 2 months, it ain't gonna be worth it anymore. That piece of gear that you got isn't, gonna be worth the paper was written on when you got it. So I think that's just part of the culture. There's not enough updates and enough time frame to keep people interested in it more than maybe a month or 2 at a time. And then the updates come out 6 months later, and by then you've either moved on or you jump back in for a couple of weeks and jump back out again. So
I got you. I'm looking at the gameplay right now. I got gameplay for Division 2. I got gameplay for Bleeding Edge when we talk about that. And I got gameplay for Outriders as well. And, dude, it looks good. I think going back to New York was a great move. Dude, I don't like the fact that the improvements that they were talking about are locked behind a $30 DLC or an expansion. I think that's something that they should just automatically put into the game, kind of like the inventory stuff and stuff like that for people who won't necessarily jump into the expansion, but they want those problems fixed for the core game that they're still playing. I think that's absolutely wrong. What do you think on that, Pred?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think that should be available to all the players, no matter if they got the $3 version or the $40 version. So, I mean, I agree with you on that one.
All right. K Mega, what do you think about this? I think you bought Division 2 when it came out, right?
Yeah.
All right. I know from people on my friends list, talking to them in parties and stuff like that, inventory was a huge kind of like setback to the game. Like they were holding things like crazy. A lot of them for those what they call talents and stuff like that. They were holding them for that. So they definitely fixed that. You got a new map. You're doing Lower Manhattan now. You guys let me know it's not free. I couldn't find a price anywhere. So you say $30 for it. What do you think, man? Do you think this is gonna fix the issues that gamers had with Division 2? And are you gonna invest in this, man?
Oh, of course. I mean, it's Division. Me and Bam played the other day. It was about 2-3 days ago. We played about a good 3-4 hour session. And it felt good to be back. It took a minute to get used to it because, when you play so many games, you kind of get all these games bundled up. And I was thinking about Gears. I was thinking about other Halo because we were playing Halo 5. And I was just what the hell?
I'm at a point. I look at my game library and I want to try something new, but I know Doom Eternal is right around the corner.
Yeah.
And I almost don't want to play anything. Thank God for the Bleeding Edge beta that came out because I automatically knew I wanted to try that. But go ahead, man. My bad.
Well, no, you good because I feel the same way. There's the Final Fantasy is getting ready to come pretty soon, and I don't. And right now I'm in my zone after I got finished playing a couple of single player games and beating them. I'm like I want to be all about multiplayer because it's just what happens. And so going back to Destiny was not Destiny but Division was great, felt good, and I don't look at this as bad as what people are saying about the $30 situation because I kind of look at it. Now this is the thing. Now this because this is where I'm skeptical at, right? I will be on board of what you and Pred and others are saying about the $30 if they have a season 2, which you know what I'm saying, which I'm
there is
pretty
going to
sure
be a season 2.
I mean a year 2, and then you ask for another $60. You see what I'm saying? So if they come out and they say, well, this is $30, and then, and for the people who's paid the $30 for that, then they can get the season 2 for, for another $30. Okay, yeah, I kind of see it. But if you ask for a year 2 edition for another $60, and then on top of this, ask for, for people to get it for $30, then I'm going to be like, Ubisoft, you're tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because you're really trying to get away with the fact of, selling the game for $3, and then you're trying to get highway robbery. That's when I have an issue. But if it's $30 and then they go a long way, like another 6 to 8 months or so, and there's nothing, there's not like a season 2 until like the new consoles come, and then they'll do like a year 2 edition. Then I'm not going to be tripping about it. But how I look at it as a fair price point is for the people who's paid like me, and I'm sure Pred did the same thing, buy the Ultimate Edition. It should be free for us because we paid for the Ultimate Edition. And for the people who didn't pay the Ultimate Edition, then it should be $30. I think that's fair. But
yeah, I'm down.
As a person, I look at it from that standpoint. If you paid the $3 for the game, I don't see why anybody would bitch about this big, huge update because it's a lot of changes that they're doing for $30. But for people like me and Pred, who's paid the $100 or 100 plus bucks, especially if you got a collector's edition too, then that shit should be free. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of indifferent on it, but I'm still gonna play it, and I'm still gonna be fool enough to spend the money. It's just that I am. I'm just gonna do it because I'm committed into the game. But everything else is just another thing that I have a problem with is not so much with the developers, it's the gamers themselves that can constantly, and not every gamer, but the gamers that always send them feedback on what's wrong with this, what's wrong with that, what's wrong with this, I hate this, this, that. And so the devs,
dude, I'm part of the Halo community. I hear that all the time.
Right, man. And they keep making changes and changes and changes until like somebody like me, for instance, like with Battlefield. I was playing Battlefield. Played Battlefield for a really long time. jump back, start playing, and things completely feel different from what they were. Had to get readjusted to how weapons felt and things like that. And then it turned into like where you had more realistic feeling of, the realistic feeling where you shoot somebody a couple of times, they're going down, to now people are looking like Call of Duty sponge, you know what I'm saying, just taking bullets. I'm like, they're running, they're getting the whole damn clip. What's going on here? And that's because there's been this group that always complains about this and that, so it can go to their favor. And then you have a group that's like me that will always continue to keep playing that game, but I just won't be playing it every day. And then that game almost becomes, I feel like it's almost unplayable. So Ubisoft's going to have to tackle that the right way, because it's like Fred said, once we start there, they change everything, and the way that we got used to playing it because they made changes in the first place, it's gonna probably suck. Probably 2 or 3 months after that, because they're gonna do another another update to where they're going to try to satisfy this one certain group. I can't stand that.
What I heard about like season 2 is I believe like they're going to support again for like a year after this drops or whatnot, and they are going to have another season. I think you're automatically in that season when you get the expansion. So like when it comes down to it, like, but they did talk about, like the season pass kind of like the bar that they have, they show like the free stuff that you get and stuff when you like invest in a season. And when you invest in a season, you always get more kind of like cosmetics and stuff like that. They were actually talking about that, moving from Warlords and moving on into that. So like I thought you would automatically be in that season. You'll be getting like the good stuff from the season.
Right. Right. Because year 2 hasn't. Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll pay the $30 but then yet I'm going to pay it reluctantly, because they're going to be eventually a year 2 edition. And then if you tell me that I got to pay $60, I'm going to be like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing that right now. You know what I'm saying? I'll just wait for a sale, because there's so many other games that I could be playing, and I'm not going. And as much as I do enjoy The Division, I don't enjoy it enough to feel like I just gave you $90. You know what I'm saying? I gave you damn near $100.
Welcome to Destiny, brother.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't do that. I just can't do that. Fred, would you do that?
Hell no.
And look, I've just now gotten back on and start playing it, and of course I enjoy it. I think the game is fantastic, but it's not that fantastic for me to pay already close over $200, because that's right, for the Ultimate Edition it was $120. You know what I'm saying? So So I'm not doing that. That's crazy. I could spend that extra $90 on another game, and that's brand new, and that could take its place, until a sale comes, and then I could get it at a one of those add-on sales that Xbox has towards the end of the year. Well, you're not going to hustle me like that.
This comes out. It comes out March 3rd. If you look at it, March 3rd this comes out. March 11th, Ori 2 comes out, and then March 20th, Doom Eternal comes out, and somewhere in there as well, Bleeding Edge comes out as well
on the 21st.
So when it comes down to it, I hear what you're saying, and in terms of like waiting for a sale or something like that, because it's not like March is going to be dry for you.
No, no.
There's a lot of titles coming out in March, so.
So I mean, like a quick $30. Like I said, the $30 doesn't bother me as much, but it's according what they're going to do about it, about their year 2 edition, and how they need to complement the people who are their bigger supporters. Because even if that me and Pred don't go in and play it every day on a continuous basis, but we do always go back, and we were the ones that paid the most money. And I understand this is about making money more than being loyal to the fan base. But if you're going to go and be as loyal as doing updates and taking the time to do that shit, you need to think about those gamers that also have paid top dollar for your product, and then try to think about hosing them for another, $60, for another $60 after this $30 deal. You're going to lose some people on it.
I think the previous season pass owners get access to something like a couple of days early. if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we get something early, but again, I mean, but we still probably got to pay that $30, right?
Yeah, to get the DLC, you definitely have to pay $30.
Yeah, you definitely got to pay that.
That's
so
crazy.
I don't know. So yeah, check that for me. But overall, I mean, no, I love the division. I like the path of where they're going with
the
it.
gameplay looks great. Like I'm watching it as we're talking. I'm like, damn,
Yeah, I mean that's just how the game looks. The game is fire. Like, and I mean, just going back to New York is cool. Kind of getting completing the story of what's going on. I mean, knowing more about what's happening with this rogue agent, and also with Black Tusk is got all this power. I love that whole storyline that they have. I mean, that's what got me hooked. Was after you beat the first game, all the tie-ins, and you were thinking that it was this and then that, and then it comes out to be this situation, and you're like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And then just everything else with the whole element of just making you look at it from a perspective of like, just think about, some kind of like some kind of chemical weapon would be used and lose that cleverly, yeah, like society would be in shit, like it would be horrible. So. It's got a great premise. The game is solid in every way to me, but man, when you ask for money like that,
they got to take care of the people who they use their money to build off of what they made with Division 2. Basically, right. Your money, Predator's money, is what went into making Warlords. So why not get a little kind of like, thank you for supporting us. Here you go, type deal. I hear you, brother. I definitely hear you on that. Yo, shout out to my brother, Yobi Dren, hitting up that super chat, letting everybody know that it does indeed work. He says, and brother, you didn't have to do that. I read it in the DM, man. I had to let the panel express their opinions. We're not talking on a phone one-on-one right now, but he said, check your mailbox on Tuesday. But late birthday gift, I know I didn't have to, but you can't stop me, brother. I love you, man. Peace, love, life. Battletoads! Brother, I love you too, man. Thank you so much. I'm getting a late birthday gift. And I believe Sir X-Man, if I can get to it, my scrolling skill right now is not great in the chat.
You suck.
K Mega, Crispy, or Pred, if you see it, let shout it out, man, because my computer's acting a little weird right now.
Sir X-Men, $2 super chat, said Battlefield keep changing the time to kill ratio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's
a core thing right there too, man.
Yeah, like that's what I was talking about. I went back and started playing it again just last weekend, and I'm always going to be a fan of Battlefield, but it's just kind of like what did these people that were complaining do to the game? Like, because I mean, you can't. This doesn't feel like Battlefield. This feels like COD on a Battlefield map. And that to me is kind of disgusting, because COD is COD, Battlefield is Battlefield.
and Yogi said, read your super chats. Bro, we just did, man. Yo, Crispy, what do you think about this expansion here? You heard from Pred, you heard from K Mega. It's going to be $30. You heard how I feel. I feel like when it comes to the game fixes that they're talking about, like the kind of trimming down the inventory and stuff like that, I feel like they should just have that in the game automatically and not put it behind an expansion that you're paying extra money for. I want to know what you think about that, and what do you think about the expansion in general? I believe you played Division 2 as well, right?
I played Division 2. I absolutely own Division 1. Like I love Division 1. And the problem that I had is like a lot of people don't realize, like, you take the snow out of it, that's basically the same thing that they use in Division 2. And that's where I had a problem. And this is where I go and say, you're going to charge $30. Okay. The only reason why they're even doing this is because they just released it for $3. So they say, okay, we can make money on the back end. And I hate that. I hate that your player base is dying, okay? Because I played the hell out of Division 1, and there's still people playing that on my friends list, which is just absurd, okay? But Division 2, which I've said it, launched better, did everything exactly the way they should have, and the problem is it feels too much like Division 1, and you've already invested all that time in Division 1, and all of a sudden you have to go and play a new game, which looks more colorful, has the, you can see the sun this time, like all these little simple things, but in the end, it's the same damn game. And what I'll say is who the hell knows if this expansion was actually originally supposed to be for Division 1, especially since it goes back to New York.
Oh, damn.
So in the end, it makes me excited that the player base is growing. I might actually go back into the game and actually play it because I can play with other people that I know. But there was a point in time where I couldn't find a match for God knows how long, or I couldn't find a group to go and beat the boss or whatever. And I got frustrated. I was just like, you know what? I can't do it myself. I'm sorry. Like, that's not this type of game. This game is like very team based, very, very team based. So if you don't have a good team around you that communicates and you're playing at the higher levels, which I did for God knows how long in Division 1, it becomes very frustrating. And
Crispy, is Division 2 kind of like dead for you then? You're not even thinking about this right now?
No. I have been thinking about it because I see so many people that bought it for $3 and they're playing it. Okay, and that's where we go and say like everybody's like, oh, Game Pass sucks, this and that. Well, guess what? Game Pass gets people to play the game. So when you release a game after so many years for $3 and say, okay. But here's the thing. Now they're going to the back end and say, well, you want all the changes that everybody really wanted, because there's a lot of Division 1 players that are like, I don't want to pay $30. I already bought Division 2 and I stopped playing it. I went back to Division 1. You know what I mean? So that's where I go and say, if you just bought the game for $3, think about it. You're only spending $33. You know what I mean? And me, I spent
game too. So
yeah. And I spent $100 and something, and I get nothing, and they still want me to spend $30.
Well, you got the experience when it
Go
came out.
F yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Ubisoft, go F yourself.
Well, I mean, you can't act like you got nothing for your money but unfortunately, there were things that they could have done better. You got those weapon skins. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, this is the thing that people don't realize. This service-based system, this is what we're gonna get. We're gonna get bullshit upon bullshit upon bullshit.
I'm a little, when it comes to the games as a service system, so many people see how lucrative it can be. I don't want every single development studio like making making a game as a service, because like I'm letting you know right now, they're all trying to compete to be your number one game, the game that you go into on a daily basis.
You see what you just said? You just said gas, right? Methane gas. Ooh, out the window. Have a good day. Okay, I'm not down for that. You spend so much, such amount of money, and you're still getting screwed in the end. And that's something that, Ubisoft still is trying to figure out. You know what I mean? I'll give Ubisoft credit. When Division 2 launched, it was almost flawless, especially for, a PvP or PvE with multiple people in your lobby game. It was pretty much flawless. But in the end, you are desperate. You released it for $3. Okay? $3. I mean, what is $3 nowadays? Think about it. Nothing.
It's a cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, baby.
Yes. So you skip that cup of coffee for one day, and you have Division 2.
And you get a game.
And I'm going to tell you right now, for $3, absolutely worth it. But then you're going to go and say, oh, we're going to fix everything. but you have to spend $30 to have it fixed. Get the frick out of here, dude.
Yeah,
Sorry.
For real. Yeah, I just got a game for $3. If I want all the bug fixes and the trim down inventory and everything like that, I got to spend another $30. Dude, I hear you. I hear you, bro. It's going to be interesting to see. Just real quick, yes or no answer from the panel. I'm going to start with Pred. Is this expansion going to bring Division 2 back?
Yeah, for about 2 weeks.
Okay, so we got Pred with 2 weeks. Crispy, yes or no? Is it going to bring it back?
No.
No? All right. K-Mega, is it going to bring it back?
Yeah, I mean, it's still around. I mean, it's not dead. I don't know.
The community is fairly small now, brother.
I don't know. I mean, when I came in, there was people in there, but hey, look, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Yes or no, man? Just pick one.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
That'd be a spike. I mean, it's like when Destiny 2 comes. When Destiny comes out with new content, like, you know, there's a spike in players jumping back in for a little bit, and they'll jump back out. So,
well, Destiny has
a
a bigger problem right now. I think they built the game too large, which is having some very bad side effects, and they're talking about continuing to support it, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell they're going to do if they built the game too large, where there's going to be multiple bugs every time they do an update. But that's another topic for another time. Right now, let's get into the new multiplat. Basically, the first multiplat cross-gen game that got announced, and it got announced this past week. A game called Outriders, made by People Can Fly. And for people who don't know, I know Crispy knows this dev studio.
Bulletstorm, and they destroyed.
And they destroyed Gears Judgment. There we go. So the developers of Bulletstorm and Gears Judgment are coming out with a new game. This game is what they call a dark sci-fi fantasy. They're quick to say it's not a game as a service, okay? There's no PvP in it. It is a third-person view, but the main niche here, the main niche here is that your character is going to have some crazy abilities. And let me switch over to the gameplay of this real quick. And this was really interesting because, like I said, it is the first kind of like multiplat that's been shown gameplay-wise and everything that is going to be on the Series X and the PlayStation 5. And when I looked at this gameplay, I'm like, you know what? This makes sense. This looks like a multiplat game that would launch with like new hardware and stuff. Like I said, it is a cross-gen game. There is a cover-based system, but from what I've heard, people who are playing it and sharing their impressions, it is not good to stay in cover, kind of like what you would do in Gears. It is good to kind of like move around and get into cover when you have to, but other than that, just really go ham with your special abilities. There's like this time slice type dynamic that when the player actually kind of like triggers it, a really cool animation where you can see the skeleton of the person that it hit. A lot of really cool kind of like graphical effects and whatnot. So, I don't know, Crispy, have you seen any of the gameplay, the trailer, stuff like that for this game, Outriders?
I'm watching it right now, and it looks like a Gears clone.
They said that there are a couple things that feel like Gears, like the shotgun does feel like the Gnasher. Kind of like the cover system is very familiar.
So I'm gonna stop you right there. And what did you just say? The first one you said, the shotgun feels like the Gnasher, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you play Gears, that sounds like music to your ears. Like constantly play Gears like me, music to your ears. The problem I have is these special abilities, which it's almost like let's just steal it from Gears 5. Because if you go and play Horde like K-Mega said he did, you know, and me and you and Dadon played that one night, those abilities are there, correct?
Yes,
so in the end, they are just making a new Gears game.
All right, well, but like I said, the kind of like the main hook in this game is your special abilities. Like,
that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, that's what I'm saying. Gears 5 already did it. They just did it in certain game modes. They didn't want to destroy the versus part of it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's one thing that people can
that's
try.
one good thing is that they're not doing the multiplayer type thing.
So they don't have to keep it balanced.
What I just watched is a Gears clone.
Oh, continue to watch, brother. Like, as we're talking, continue to watch, because I think that
looks like a Gears clone.
I think this game looks interesting with the slowdown bubble, that kind of like time slice that he does, the ability to teleport behind your enemy, and then they have mini bosses and kind of like stage bosses as well, where they also have powers and they come at you with different kind of like elemental powers and stuff like that. A cool thing about this is because it is co-op, you can go in and play co-op, but there's no PvP. There's a loot system involved in this where as you're playing and as you're taking out enemies, you're actually leveling up the world. And when you level up the world, when you get it to like level 2, the enemies become harder and you get better loot drop, like better weapons, stuff like that you and your friend or you by yourself can go and kind of like, you know, grab and get those like rare bounties and stuff like that to keep going, even though, you know, they're not really calling it a game as a service. It's kind of like it's a looter game, but without PvP, and it has co-op in it. I don't know, dude. From what what you're seeing right now, do you have any interest in this game?
Absolutely, it's a Gears clone. dude,
I never heard anybody say absolutely about a clone before. That is great.
Dude, it's got elements that, you know, I thought that, you know, the Coalition was going for, but at the same time, you have to realize you know, the Coalition's going to look at it and say,
fire tornado,
we are PvP first. Because there's a lot of people that just play Gears because of the multiplayer. And these elements, all these things that are the fire, the ice, the slowdown, these are all elements that, you know, I mean, you could get Overwatch players.
Shit looks hot, yo. This shit looks hot.
You could get Overwatch players saying, "Oh shit, this is actually cool." And you know, the thing is, we just went off the Division. But the Division is a very similar game. You have certain, you know, aspects that you can use if you pick a certain gear set or this or that or certain special abilities. So I mean, it's a cool concept, and the one thing I like is that it plays like Gears. You know what I'm saying? It really does. Like what I'm watching right now, it plays like Gears. So if you like Gears, but you like a totally different experience, I think that's what you will get with this game. So I'm kind of interested. People could fly, screwed up Judgment, you know what I mean? But that was because they didn't understand how to do the multiplayer. But they didn't understand. Well, it's still not technically multiplayer. It's not PvP. It's PvE, right? So you could play with other people. I would probably play it. So, you know, that's something that's just me like hitting that. Oh, it kind of looks like I'm playing Gears, but it's different. You know what I mean? So that's for me. And I know there's plenty of people in this chat that are like, I get what you're saying. You know, Gears is movement wise is one of the best games I've ever played, still is. And this movement in this game, from what I've seen, is very similar, but it involves a lot of other elements that, you know, in Horde mode, when you're playing Gears 5, it kind of feels like that, but not in anything else, not in even the campaign. So it's kind of cool.
Nice, brother. Dude, I for some rhyme or reason, I think K Mega, if he's not playing a game right now, he's checking out this gameplay saying, damn. Like, I will say, I definitely have interest in this, and I will say something else, because people kind of got on this game's case when it was released. Like, when it was announced, when the trailer was shown, when, you know, certain gameplay came out saying that Well, this doesn't look like a big step, kind of like moving forward into the next series of hardware. This looks like a typical, what I would call a typical launch multiplat when it comes to hardware. When you look at it, you can see where they're going to improve the textures, where they're going to improve the effects, the particle effects, stuff like that. You can see where they're going to go heavy graphically when it comes to the Series X and the PlayStation 5. And that is pretty much what you're going to get, especially from third party. When these systems launch, you're going to get things where they're going to bump up the graphics to make this thing look pretty. And I can see where they're going to do that in this game. But K-Mega, are you there, brother?
I'm here.
All right. Have you been checking out this gameplay?
Yeah, I mean, I showed the trailer of the game last night on GRG. So yeah, no, I've watched this game. Yeah, and I'm seeing more footage than what I originally watched.
That's what I'm here for, brother.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here
for.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah.
So what do you think so far? You hear about the crazy abilities and stuff like that. You're watching the gameplay as we're going in. They're actually showing the upgrades for armor and stuff like that. But do you have interest in this game? And do you see what I see? Like, this looks like, to me, a typical kind of like multi-plat game when new hardware is coming out. A cross-gen game where you can look at the textures and be like, you know what? I already know they're going to bump that up. You can see the particle effects and stuff like that from the abilities. And you're like, you know what? They're going to go crazy on the Series X and the PS5 with that. Do you see what I'm saying? How this looks like a typical kind of like cross-gen or a launch year kind of like game?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, this is it's just definitely one of those games. Of course, it's being played on the PC, but yeah, you could definitely see that.
All right, so what do you think? Do you have interest in this? Does this look like something that you're going to get into down the road?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll play this. It's Gears S. You know what I'm saying? Gears S. But I look more for it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just like kind of like Bulletstorm, how Bulletstorm is kind of it looks Gears-ish. This plays Gears-ish, but it reminds me more of Bulletstorm. It's just the fact that it's got, you know, this got the cover system, and of course with the shotgun stuff like that, but this game is really fast paced. It's really cool.
Dude, that's one thing. It looks really quick, man.
Right. Yeah, and it's something like what Crispy was alluding to, where I heard my boy Super G was saying this too in the DMs, was like, you know, people are going to say why Gears can do that, but you would destroy Gears if you did that. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you added, what'd you say?
I said the coalition with Gears, they got to do something, man. There hasn't been a true evolution to the Gears game. I was actually talking about it on Crossfire, man. I love the story.
I'm going to disagree with you. They over-evoluted this game.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? Like, they went well above over so much. They changed so much is that the people who originally loved Gears aren't in love with it like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that they have made a lot of changes. Like, especially like, you have to, if a person that was like constantly in the Gears and playing the Horde mode, things like that, the difference of what they did with Horde mode now, it's insane. But I see the benefits of it now after I played a different, you know what I'm saying? Because I played it with Crispy first, and we were playing on the beginning, and then when we went further and I played today on Inconceivable, and that is ridiculous. But you still get all the turrets and everything, but I see the method behind it, but I can see why people wouldn't like it. But no, that game has a lot of. And I want to
clarify, like, if I had to give Gears 5 a rating, I would give it a 9 out of 10. All right, but like there's certain things like the running and the cover system. Like I feel like if you go between Gears 1 and Gears 5, to me it still feels the same. Is what I'm saying. And you got to remember, I'm coming from the Halo community where,
I understand that.
You know, Spartan abilities have completely changed my life in Halo. You know what I'm saying? I want to see a change of my life type situation with Gears as well. That's me personally.
Then you need to be playing Gears 5 consistently because you'll see a lot of change. And then of course all the different modes. The OG.
Others think I don't give perfect 10s to any game. I don't think there's any perfect game out there.
The arcade mode. I love the arcade mode. You know what I'm saying? There's just so many other things with Gears. Like the escape mode is hot. I don't know. You need to go back and give it another shot. But I think if you go back and you play every mode and do it and put some true emphasis behind it, I think you might change your tune on that.
Well, that's what I was saying. Because this game looks like the abilities that they added in certain game modes in Gears. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Crispy, check this out. Tim Brewster in the chat said something that I knew it and I completely forgot about it with talking about Outriders. Another cool thing is with your abilities, as you get kills, you'll get health back. If you get kills with your abilities, you'll get more health back and stuff like that. So I feel like, it's definitely, I like what you said with Gears Clone, but I feel like it's a faster paced kind of like Gears Clone type game.
Did you ever play Gears 3, bro? That's the same pace. I'm just telling you.
Gears 3 is probably the fastest out of all the Gears, but I would go more, you know what I'm saying? I think what Tim said as well, I think the reason why you look at this so like this bot is because it's kind of got like a Gears-esque stuff, but it's got the speed of Doom and Bulletstorm. And that's the thing to me is that's why I say this game is it's Gears-ish, but it's not Gears. It's got a lot of similarities, but it's its own game. I love those super abilities that you can do, but I wouldn't want to see Marcus throwing a damn lightning. You know what I'm saying? If it's a weapon. Oh, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to see superpowers with
no, this is a dark sci-fi fantasy
I don't want to see Kate,
like that.
flying in the air, throwing a fireball like Ryu. That's crazy. Then that's when you take it.
Well, that's why it's PvE and not PvP. I mean, they're experimenting, and that's cool. I'm down with that. I just saw this gameplay just on this podcast. Hey, we got some
shout out to next podcast. I'm saying.
Right. Well, all I'm gonna, but you know what I'm saying. I know we're gonna get to Pred, but I just want to say this: I'll play the shit out of this game and enjoy every bit of it. It looks fantastic. I can't wait for it to come out.
It looks like you should get arcade monikers that pop up kill.
Give me a 4-player co-op and sign me up. Let's do it.
Oh, dude, they talked about with co-op, if I heard it correctly, putting your abilities together, to take out enemies and stuff.
Oh, kind of like Marvel Alliance and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, that would be great. Yeah, that'd be hot. Yeah, so that which is to me it's kind of like Bulletstorm. That's what this game reminds me of. And then since what Tim said, Doom, it's kind of like 3 games into one. And if they all had a baby, this would be the game. And I'm with it.
Yo, the chat's on fire right now, man. Yeah. Yo, shout out to the chat. Yo, thank you guys for hanging out with us and making the show so entertaining. Yo. I don't know why people started hating on this, saying this is what we're gonna get for next gen. First off, this is running on PC, and second, we haven't seen the next gen version of this. I can see where they're gonna improve the graphics, and that's pretty much what you're gonna get for launch titles. Especially
people tripping, man. This game looks good, just the way it is right here.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, it looks good. I mean, it's running 60 frames per second. This shit is.
Dude, I might have 2 people to play this game with. Crispy.
Oh,
and
you
Mega.
would. Oh yeah. You can play this.
I'm gonna pick it up just after. I said, I'm excited. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Holy shit! It's like another Gears. It's different." I'm good with that.
This is right up Fred's alley too. And don't get it twisted. We already know what Fred gonna say. Go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, let's bring it to our brother Predator. Yo, Pred, you see the gameplay. You heard the information. What do you think about this game? And like I said, do you see what I'm saying? Where this is going to be like your typical third-party, launch year type game, where I can see where the improvements are going to happen. The lighting, the textures, the particle effects. Like this is going to be kind of like your standard third-party game for like next gen. I don't know if you see it that way as well.
I mean, this could have been a current gen game. I'm not saying it looks bad or anything like that, but it's something like the gameplay isn't new.
I think what you're seeing is current gen, but I can see where they're going to step it up graphically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not worried about the build right now. Like the gameplay itself, it does kind of remind you a little bit of Gears. Actually, kind of seeing the numbers pop up when you shoot people kind of remind me of the Division for some reason, and I know they used to do that too. And what was that other game that came out? Borderlands. A little bit. So
somebody said Borderlands in the chat as well.
Anthem does that too.
Yeah. So there's they're not doing anything new. It's just a new story. There's a new skin, but gameplay is going to be something similar to what we've all played before in the past. So I like what I've seen. It's one of those games that's up my alley, to be honest with you. So you got a gun and you're shooting shit. So that's all me.
Oh, you silly American. You don't know anything but just to shoot. Damn it.
Okay, Kojima. All right.
So Pred, are you saying that you're interested in this?
Yeah, I'm interested. It's a new game. Like we get tired of seeing the same old game.
Yeah.
So like anytime you see something new, it's refreshing. It's like when Ori came out, I loved Ori because it was something different.
Dude, I can't wait for Ori 2. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, it was something different, and I played the fuck out of that game. I even played the other edition that came, definitive edition, when it came out. So when you see something, I mean, the gameplay is different, but the story and the game is different. Like the name, like I'm tired of Call of Duty X and freaking Battlefield X. Like all those games play essentially the same. Like you've played them before. You just play them every other year. So Madden. Like it's the same fucking game every year. So this is a brand new game, brand new story. It's like Anthem when it came out. It was different, and there was a lot of hype and buzz around it because it was something new and refreshing. So I'm looking forward to it and what the new offerings that are going to be coming out from all these studios in this next generation coming forward.
Yeah, dude, it's got me excited, and I believe somebody in the chat was like, "I hope." Okay, dude in the chat says basically that he hopes that next gen is more than just graphics. Brother, it will be, but for the first year or so, that eye candy is going to be put out there to catch people to invest in the next generation. That's what they do every time there's a launch year with brand new hardware and stuff. They go heavy on graphics, especially this gen coming up with the PS5 and the Series X, because you're gonna have a port of a game that's on PS4 go on PS5, so they have to structurally make the game the same, and you're going to see a boost in graphics. And then with the Series X having the forward compatibility, you're really not going to get like the more expansive worlds from the CPU and stuff like that. At least not for the first year. You're going to get the eye candy. That's what they're going to do. Both companies, third-party developers, that's what you're going to see the first year with the Series X and the PS5. It's something I've been trying to tell people for I don't know how long. And of course, people like to argue, say that their opinion's right and mine is wrong, but that's what you're going to see. But all in all, I think everybody on the panel is looking forward to Outriders. I don't understand the hate that's going out there right now. It's just
a new thing, but I mean, well, it's not a new thing. It's just the new normal.
Everything has to have a little sprinkle of hate on top.
Yeah, everything has got to be
except for Dreams.
The culture to say.
Except for Dreams, there could be none there.
Yeah.
But on that note, let's move on to a franchise that I know I love. I think K Mega's on board with this. I'm not sure about Pred and Crispy though, and that is Need for Speed. It seems that the development studio Ghost will no longer be making Need for Speed, which I find really funny because I think Need for Speed Heat was one of the, like, if not the best kind of like Need for Speed within the past, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years or so. And I thought they did a really good job with Heat. But EA has decided to take the franchise away from Ghost and to give it to Criterion. For people who don't know, Criterion, they're the developers that made the 2012 Most Wanted. And they also did the 2010 Hot Pursuit. So I've seen people out there on social media, YouTubers talking about this move, and they are completely excited about this. I don't necessarily understand why. I thought that Ghost finally got that blueprint down for a successful Need for Speed with the last one that came out with Heat, and I thought the future was looking really good. But it seems that people are excited that Criterion is now taking over Need for Speed. K-Mega, what do you think about this move, man? Because I think people out there are thinking that they're going to make another Most Wanted that is like the original. And if that's the case, I got news for them. Most of those developers that were at that Criterion studio, they're gone now. It's not the same studio. So what do you think about what EA has done here? I think you've played Heat, right?
Oh yeah. Well, you know I played Heat.
Yeah, I think we jumped in together.
Yeah,
Man. And
I turned you on to Heat.
No, we're not.
Yeah, because I bought it before you did. You was on the fence, and I kept telling you how great it was, and you was like, well, and then we played. You know what I'm saying? You got it after I did. I got Heat day one.
Oh, K-Mag did do that. I'm just telling you.
I mean,
on this podcast.
Marijuana affects the memory, and I can neither confirm nor deny that right now. Like, I'm not sure.
But okay. Anyway, but yeah. So, but you know, I think it's very unique. So to me, it tells me one or two things. That Need for Speed Heat probably didn't do very well sales wise, which is unfortunate because Heat is really good. It's better. It's like you said, it's better than the last renditions of what
4 or 5 iterations, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Rivals was horrible.
I've seen a couple of Rivals had a lot of potential, but
Criterion helped with Rivals, I believe.
Right. I thought Rivals had a lot of great potential, but the problem was people's internet wasn't good like that when it first came out because it was a launch title, and on top of that, that's a game that's just kind of like with Project Spark and Dreams. Those are one of those games that need to be played anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Come out now. You know what I'm saying? So that Rivals, I think, would have been a hit if it came out now, because then there would be a Game Pass game, and you know most people's internet is suitable to play that type of game. At that time, man, my car was skipping and jumping. It was doing the moonwalk. There was all types of shit going on. I mean, so my AT&T DSL was not working for me like that. So, but that's what I'm thinking. And like I said, it's unfortunate if the game didn't do well sales wise, but I mean, they're proven. And I know that you said that there's a lot of those developers that's gone, but
are they though?
But that's a big studio, and Most Wanted was amazing. You didn't like Most Wanted?
I'm a huge fan of the original Most Wanted. Trust me, I know that. My whole thing is though, Ghost finally turned a corner. Now I know it took them a long time, right? I know that, but they finally turned a corner, and now with EA taking the franchise away from Ghost and giving it to Criterion, any of the continued support for Heat is up in the air now.
Well, they've dissolved Ghost.
They did. They broke it down.
I guarantee there's probably like 50% of the devs that are on Ghost that are going there, and they're turning it into a hub. I don't know what exactly type of hub they were talking about.
help support their other development studios in completing games.
Yeah, because they said that they had a talent issue and they couldn't find enough talent to be into that Ghost gaming itself. So in general, I don't know if it's if it's maybe, you know, in that area they couldn't find enough talent and they couldn't fill the positions, so then they moved it to Criterion, which is over, you know, basically a sea or pond or whatever you talk about. And you know, they're going that route because in general Criterion has made some great Need for Speeds, let's not lie. So
hey, bot.
Dude, I'm looking at that super chat right now, and I'm like, wow.
You know what? I got this.
You got this?
I got this.
Shout out to Sovereign, man.
Shout out to Sovereign, man. He says, I got a sentence for all you pony flux. Check it out. I'll say it in English. Mortal deeds never deceive the gods. What's up, son? Let me be country. What you want?
Yo, hit that thumbs up button for K Mega right now. Oh my goodness.
He just translated it for you people. Woo! He just translated it. Because I didn't even know what the fuck this said.
Brother, yo, K Mega, I am picking up my jaw from the floor right now, bro. Holy crap.
Oh, man.
Yo, dude, did you take Latin or something?
Don't worry about that, sucker. Just go ahead and hit that like button.
Hit that like button, people. Oh, my goodness.
K-Mega got something up his sleeve. Just saying.
Woo! That was incredible. Brother, you never cease to amaze me, bro. I'm saying.
I usually hold things in the pocket, man. There's a lot of things that people don't know about the old K-Mega, man.
I don't even know where we are in the topic anymore.
We're talking about the racing.
Yeah. Who? What was it? Crispy was talking, right?
I'm done.
I'm done.
On, man?
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on anymore.
You got a Latina wife. How the hell you don't know that?
He's smacking his lips right now. He's like,
yeah, what's going on?
Crispy,
man?
You were sharing your opinions, right?
What'd you say?
Oh my goodness, guys! Yeah. Shout out to the over 125. We had over 130 people watching so far. Yo, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Let people know where you are hanging out. Prime time on Saturday night. So K Mega, do you think this is a good move though? Bringing it over to Criterion.
It could be, and look, we don't know how many people have left, or and just like what Crispy was saying, that those people got integrated within what was going on with Criterion. So, yeah, because I mean the most popular Need for Speeds are the ones that this studio has made. So the studio's name alone gives it a pass. I think if they're going to go back to that, I think that they've seen there was a lot of people that liked Heat, but I think that the stigma of what Need for Speed has been for so long it's still got a bad taste in a lot of gamers' mouths.
It's still rubbing people the wrong way. I got you.
Right. So if you go back, show that studio, hit them with a dope trailer like you did with Heat, but then yet, those gamers that remember Need for Speed and you name it Most Wanted 2 or Carbon 2 or something like that,
they did a Most Wanted 2. They're going to have to do like a Most Wanted 2 reboot or something like that, man. You put gameplay for Most Wanted 2 in like a few weeks ago.
I did. Yeah. And that's it's definitely one of my favorites. I mean, it was great. To me, it was like the last great Need for Speed. And this one, Heat is really, really, really good. But it's not. Heat, man. I love it too. But it's still not at it's at the bottom tier of those classics. And so therefore, if you just by name recognition alone, I think that would get people to be excited. And you've seen what kind of job that Ghost's did with Heat, and then they're working with the other developers out there. I think that they could have something really special and bring back revitalize the Need for Speed franchise. It's something
Carbon
I definitely
2,
would like to see.
Shout out to Alex for Carbon 2. Tex Nexus 7 in the chat said most of the OG Criterion devs, they went and made Dangerous Driving. So, like, yeah, they made their own studio and kind of went off and did their own their own racing game, basically, with dangerous driving. So,
That's
yeah.
why
Who
you
is
look
that? Who is that made Burnout? I thought that was them.
That
made
was
Burnout.
Criterion.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, they could be making another Burnout.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I would love the open world Burnout wasn't my cup of tea, but the old school Burnout.
Old school, yeah.
Oh, we just, you know what I'm saying? So give us a little
Old
big
school.
yeah, give us a little bit of a big ass scoop of some Burnout with some Need for Speed, Most Wanted. Kind of put that all together, because the only thing I really want from the Burnout series is the crashes. I always love jumping off of the
like
damn
the
highway.
intersections where you're driving into them and you gotta
Yeah, just driving in the shit, just causing
Oh.
crazy chaos. That most fun. That was so
Dude, I spent
fun.
hours doing that. Like, yeah, and that was back in the day. My mom looked at me like I was nuts, like with the Burnout games. She's like, all you're doing is crashing into other cars. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. She did not understand. Yo, Pred, what do you think about this move, given Need for Speed back to Criterion? You see people in the chat saying most of the original developers, they went off to make another game. I see a lot of people in the Need for Speed kind of like community happy about this. Do you feel like it's a legitimate like happiness, something to be excited about? Because I thought Heat was really good. I thought Ghosts finally turned that corner and realized what Need for Speed was about, man.
Is that for me or is that for Tim?
No, that was
That's for you. That's for you.
Yeah, I stepped off for a second. I heard most of that, but I listened to what you guys were talking about. Y'all know I'm not a huge racer fan, to be honest with you, so I really can't even comment on this topic.
Boo.
But what if I tell you they're gonna have the Tesla truck?
If it ain't Forza, it ain't right.
Oh,
Listen to that.
damn! If it ain't Forza, he does not want to hear about it. Yo.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
you know what
some
he
Project
gave me?
Gotham Racing in there too, if you want me to.
You know what he gave me? Getting fucking chased by those damn cops. I mean, they're brutal. Like, I was like, yo, I'm gonna die.
You need like that
You know what I mean?
1972 Porsche. Trust me, man. Like it'll blow by anything once you hook it up. Yeah. But all right. Well, Crispy, what do you think about this move, bro?
I think it's smart only because I think they've already liquefied the Ghost Gaming, and those people could replace the people that left Criterion. So in general, I mean, the problem is that Need for Speed has been around for so damn long. Like, I have nostalgic when it comes to like Hot Pursuit and Hot Pursuit 2. Like those two games are one of the best I've ever played, and still to this day, like, it was just bar none, way higher, everything, resolution, everything for a racing game than I've ever played at that time. And it still like grabs me, and I'm like, well, it's not the worst thing, but as soon as I saw that news that they were like just basically liquidating Ghost Gaming and turning them
Something that
into
EA is
a
known
support dev, it sucks because I feel like Heat is on the right path, but Need for Speed with Forza and even Gran Turismo, people don't look to that game for those type of things. But the thing that Heat did right is that they involved the cops, like I used to feel back in the Hot Pursuit days or the Most Wanted days. So they did it right for me, but I don't know if everybody's into that. And I hope that they can figure it out, because I don't want to see Need for Speed ever die. You know what I mean?
It's a great arcade racer, man.
Yeah, it's arcade.
Crispy, if Forza Horizon, and I don't know, if Forza Horizon adds cop chases, it's over. I don't think there's any racing game that's going to.
Probably right.
You know what I'm saying? GT is still they said that they have like 8 million people that's playing the game, active users, and GT is always going to be popular in its own space. But if they add any type of to the street racing element of Forza Horizon with cop chases, it is over. There's no racer that will mess with that ever.
Yeah, and
ever.
that's always been Need for
Be
Speed's
done.
niche.
Right.
And I think he went back to that, and I completely agree with you. And I feel like it's kind of weird that none of these other racers have tested those waters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, Forza Horizon 4 is completely open world. You could do it. All you got to do is add an AI.
Me and K Mega have been saying that they need to do cop chases in Forza Horizon ever since like the end of 2.
Yeah. And future generations is saying the right thing. He's like, you know, it's not Forza Horizon. I mean, that's not their type of thing. They're more of the atmosphere, things like that. But I mean, they don't have to have, you know, people driving around and then you got cop chases going on in the middle of the street to cause chaos. They could have it as a DLC separated thing like they do with Lego and with, you know, Storm Island and stuff like that.
That would have been so much better than Lego.
If wherever they're going to be at, from Tokyo or wherever, and you got an area where it's just outlaws and there's cops just trying to stop you on some DLC for the next Forza Horizon, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. That that game is going to hit. I think that game is going to hit levels of Call of Duty status in sales, because I think that's, you know, that will draw all types of racing fans. That would be crazy.
Nice. Crispy, you keep going now if you want.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take over like that.
No, I have to agree with everything you just said, because in general, the thing you have to think about is that the one thing Need for Speed has always had is that those cop chases, and I don't feel like there's a lot of games that would even think about it. Like, and that's the weird thing. Like, it's such a simple concept, but even these, like I said, arcade racer, you think Forza Horizon 4, but you have nothing to do in like periods of time. You know what I mean? Like, even when I was playing Heat, like if I drove at like a decent speed and wasn't like flying by, I wouldn't trigger the cops. You know what I mean? Mm. And that's
like
kind of
Midnight
cool.
Club LA, I used to stop at stoplights because of the cops. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. That's a good element. And if nobody else is going to touch it, if they can make a Need for Speed that isn't, I don't know, like, I love the story of Heat, but at the same time, I don't, because it felt like there was less racing involved. You know what I'm saying? And it's because they tried to make it about multiple different things, like, oh, night, day, you do this, you do that, you're in circuit races, you're not in circuit races, you're you know, when you drive at night, like there's too much like thought processes involved, not enough, you know, earning shit, and in the end they kind of screwed up that part. But the cop chases and everything were exhilarating. Like, it made me feel like, oh my God, like I'm gonna, you know, because
the first time
the damage bar came from Hot Pursuit 2. A lot of people don't realize that. Damage bar came from Hot Pursuit 2. Okay, you used to have a damage bar in Hot Pursuit 2. So they took elements from like all of the great Need for Speeds, and they made them its own, and with the great graphics and everything, and then to come down to it, like, it still felt a little slow for a Need for Speed for me.
I am a little kind of like, I'm a little disappointed that, you know, it felt like Ghost finally realized what Need for Speed was. Now, granted, it took them a long time, but they finally, with Need for Speed Heat, like you were talking about with the cops, the first time that I beat out a level 5 cop chase in Need for Speed Heat, I literally, like, man, the relief I felt, like, it felt so good to get away from them and stuff like that.
It felt like you won the Super Bowl,
Oh,
right?
hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Dude, the first time I did that, you know, it was insane. I feel bad for the developers. Now, hopefully, with the people that they brought over from Ghost into Criterion, which at least 30 developers are actually going to lose a job. That's what they put out there. There's going to be 30 of the developers that unfortunately they are not going to have a job with EA, either with their hub that they talk about, dissolving Ghost into, or with Criterion. There's going to be 30 developers out there that don't have a job, and we're never happy with people who just are unemployed at that point in time. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens, when it comes down to it. Where is Criterion going to go? Are they going to do a Carbon 2 type thing? Are they going to go back into Most Wanted? We have no idea. But huge shout out to the Ghost devs for Need for Speed Heat, because I feel like I said, they finally turned that corner and they understood what they were doing with the game. And it's really unfortunate to see that studio get dissolved the way it is, just when they were showing promise with the franchise. So, other than that, we have one more topic if you guys want to get into, and then we can get out of here after that. How's that sound?
It sounds good
All
to
right,
me.
man. Come on.
All right. Well, Sony, the CEO from Sony again has come out and stated something about numbers that they feel are important. And when it comes down to it, Sony has gone out there and stated that active user base numbers are actually more important to them than console sales numbers. Now, Sony has said this before. They said it back in 2017 as well. But for some rhyme or reason, it seems like people out there on social media and stuff like that, they didn't really kind of catch on to what Sony was saying. So they reiterated it again, that it is the active users that is the more important number over how many consoles have been sold. Now, if you have been following this podcast and this channel, this is something that has been stated for a long time. I'm gonna go to Predator first on this one. Hopefully he's there. Pred, are you here?
Yep.
All right, Pred. When it comes down to this, do you think that people are gonna finally get the picture of what we have been talking about for I don't know how long? That the active user base, with where the gaming industry, the console gaming industry, and the gaming industry as a whole, where it's going. You're seeing streaming services, subscription services, all this stuff that we either have or is coming. Do you think people will finally be like, oh, that's what it's about, and realize the active user base is really the number that these companies are really looking at as the most important?
It's funny because when Microsoft started doing it, it was a problem. Oh, they don't release their sales numbers because they know they're so far behind how many console sales they had. So when they started using active users, it seemed like the Sony camp used that against Microsoft, like we were hiding something. In reality, I think it makes more sense to, I guess, say how many people you actually have using your console. Because Phil says this all the time. It doesn't make sense for me to sell you a console you don't use. We need you to be engaged with using the console. That means you actually...
Dude, I heard stories of people buying multiple PS4s just because they felt like they were actual soldiers in a quote-unquote console war, and they were helping Sony win that war.
None of that. Every console for the most part is sold as a loss until you get to a certain break-even point. And Sony probably reached that a long time ago. But with all that being said, it makes more sense to actually look at how many people are actually using your services instead of sitting here saying, we sold 100 and something consoles. I have a PlayStation console. I haven't turned it on and played a game on it in months. So
dude, you gotta play God of War 3 Remastered. It's a great game.
I'm sure it is, but I haven't used my console in a month, so I'm not really contributing to PlayStation.
No, you're not helping them out at all, brother.
Yeah, I got a console, and I don't even have I have PlayStation Live now, but I didn't have it before PSN until I saw a deal, and I got it 2 years worth for $30. So like, but I still don't even use it. Like my stepson uses it more than I do. So like, I don't really. It doesn't make any sense to say, oh, we sold all these consoles, but if I'm not using it, then it doesn't really do anything for them. So the active user thing, I see where they're going with it. Especially when Microsoft did it a long time ago. It's just ironic that Sony's doing it now, and now all of a sudden, and here's the next goalpost. What counts as an active user? Because I've already seen that. Out there. Like, oh, well, this doesn't count as an active user. This does, and Sony does it this way, and Microsoft does it that way. Who cares,
dude? Isn't the definition of active user pretty much self-explanatory at that point in time?
You're actively online. You're buying a game. You're playing a game. You're actually playing games on your console. That's an active user. Like that. That's a better gauge of what your service is doing, versus just selling the console. I mean, if you're not using it, then you're not really helping the system. You're not helping the company out at all. You have to actually be playing games on it. And to keep the active user base up for the Microsoft side, you have Game Pass. Like it's cheap right now, but like that's why they're gauging it that way. And Sony, they do this all the time. They follow suit. They don't lead from the front.
That's a
great point. Everybody else from behind. They won't even announce the price of the console. I mean, Microsoft's not doing it either. But like from the reports, they're afraid they're trying to undercut Microsoft. They're always waiting to see what Microsoft does, and then they come out and they do something, or they see how the market's going to work first. I think the only time I've actually seen Sony step out and like put the front foot forward is with VR. I mean, and even then it was on PC, but for them to do it on a console the way they've done it, like that's
Sony definitely likes to go second, man. We've seen that for I don't know how long.
And they'll pull out something, but like with the way things are going right now, with all these other companies trying to get into that space now, with where it's cloud or whatever, like you can see that Sony has to kind of follow suit with the way things are gonna go going forward, because that's the gauge. That's what the gauge is, and it's not. I always joke and I say that the what is it that I say? The metric isn't sales, it's money. And here's another metric. The metric isn't console sales; it's active users. It's what is being used on that system. How many people are actually using that system? Whether it's just streaming a game, streaming movies, like it's on, and it's someone's actually using it, and that's what Microsoft makes its money on. Because again, you got ads, you got different shit going on in the background. Your Xbox, they're tallying up those numbers and saying, okay, this console is actually on. Someone's actually using it. It isn't just sitting there idle, being turned on to get updates and then turned back off again, and no one's using it. Like I think the active user is a better metric to see actually how well your system is doing versus just selling the console.
Brother, I think when you said updates and you said how long it's been since you turned on your PS4, I would hate to be there when you do turn it on to see how many updates that thing is going to need.
I turned it on in December. I know for sure because my stepson was here. And I think I turned it on. I want to say I turned it on in January to download a game that was in the store that was for free. I think.
Okay. Well, then
I know for sure it's been on since December.
You should be
fairly up because one of their games that I want is on there right now for free. And I did. Is it Horizon Zero Dawn that's on there now?
I'm not sure. You talking about like the PS Plus games?
Yeah.
I don't.
There's
I don't
one
know.
on there that I need to go in there and download, but that's about it. I haven't really touched it.
Dude, I don't even know the Xbox Live games with gold right now either. Like,
dude, do you want to hear something funny? The last PlayStation game I played was Lost Legacy, and it wasn't even on my PlayStation. It was on the streaming, the PlayStation Now.
Wow. Yo, shout out to future generations. Yeah, Sony is way more dependent on PlayStation than Microsoft is on Xbox, and I think that was some of the thing that that fact right there is what got some people worried in the middle of this generation that they were going to spin off Xbox or kind of like kill that division outright. Now, thankfully, Phil Spencer came in and kind of like, salesman status convinced Satya Nadella that it's actually better for them to keep the gaming division because gaming is about to go into a whole new era when it comes to cloud gaming and stuff like that. And, thankfully, Phil, talked him out of kind of like killing that division, which is absolutely awesome. Crispy, what do you think about this? Sony came out again and talked about active users. Do you think people out there on social media, the people who you know, when you talk about an awesome Xbox game and an experience you're having, they come in and go 106 million sold. Do you think they'll finally get the picture that console sales don't mean what they used to from like back in the day when it comes to the console gaming industry?
Well, I mean, we're all not naive. I mean, you don't make a shit ton off of your console sales. And I think we've seen that, like, the reports, which they're, you know, speculation, but that PlayStation is kind of like reeling at this point. And don't get me wrong, we don't know what Microsoft's doing. They've been kind of close to the chest for once in their life, and they haven't said a damn word about nothing. They haven't leaked nothing. There's been no, like, you know,
there's been no leaks, but like, they've showed the most when it comes to kind of like the next generation. They showed the teaser to Hellblade 2. They showed Project Mara.
You have no specs. You have no implication that, you know, they're going to be, oh, you know, we can't afford to do this. Well, guess what? The problem is, and a lot of people will hate what I'm about to say. A problem is that you have $1 trillion company and you have a maybe $200 million company, $1 billion company. And in the end, you're going to say, okay, what is this $1 trillion company going to do? And the only thing I'll say is that Satya has come out and said, we are investing tenfold into Xbox, okay? Into the gaming services. He didn't say, you know, just the console or anything else. He said services. We are investing in the services. And these services are like, they feel like it's like Netflix, except gaming continues to go tenfold over even movies now. Okay? And
dude, it's been bigger than the movie
TV
industry for a while now.
You know, so in general, they're investing in what is projected to be higher. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's the way you work a business. You say, okay, you know what? We have the Surface. We're you know, in the NFL, everything else, you know, all these things. Like, they are very strategic at this point, and it's making me happy that all of a sudden, like, Sony's like, oh, okay, you know, we're going to reiterate the fact that MAU, monthly active users, is important to us, because in the end, you know, we're seeing the projections of what they could sell, you know, the PS5 for, and it doesn't look good for them. And the problem is if they try to undercut Microsoft, they're going to lose a shit ton of money. Well, and that sucks for them. I'm not saying that it's, you know, like, let's say Microsoft says, okay, we're going to release the Xbox Series X for $500. They release the PS5 for $400, which they did for the PS4, okay, which was actually a big advantage, especially with the stupid Kinect. Just saying.
You know, okay. When it comes to the PS4, there's something I wanted to clarify, because Enrique from Basement Radio Arcade podcast last night on Crossfire said that Sony sold the PS4 at a loss in 2013, and in all actuality, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
They were earning like maybe $20-$30 per console. So they were getting a small profit.
They were getting less than $20 per console.
Okay, but they were getting a small profit per console. They weren't losing money per console in 2013. But you know, throughout the years of console gaming, there have been consoles that came out and their price point at launch, you know, the company was actually losing money on the hardware, but that's not where they make money to begin with anyway when it comes to console gaming.
And what I will say to that is that a lot of people are ignoring the fact that you used to just have software. That's what made you the money. Now you have subscription and software. And that's what Xbox has over PlayStation. They're releasing things day and date, and they're saying, okay, we're going to go above and beyond, but it doesn't feel too above and beyond because we all have Netflix or Prime or Disney Plus or whatever it may be. And you know what? You're paying for those certain exclusives that release day and date, right? Just saying, people ignore these things. PlayStation now is going to either become what Xbox Game Pass is, or they are going to fail. And you know what? You could sit here and tell me I'm wrong, but you watch. They are already reeling.
Well, it's gonna be the first option.
Tell me what your price of your console is. I just saw in a tweet that they might be releasing it through email. For the love of God. Okay?
For the love of God. Yeah.
All right. Well, Xbox is sitting here like, we're going to wait for once. We're not going to be that same old Microsoft that goes and says, okay, this is what we're going to do, and then you go and undercut us. We're not going to do that. We don't know where they're developing all of their technology for the Series X. We have no clue, okay? But PlayStation, we know where it is. It's mostly in China. Just saying. Oh. So they're going to have some trouble. We don't know what Xbox could be, and they could be the same thing as what PlayStation's going through. But right at this time, Xbox has said nothing about what is actually in the console. And all we hear is custom, custom, custom. Well, guess what? America is pretty easy to make custom. Just saying.
America is pretty easy to make custom, people. Yeah. K-Mega, what do you think about this? You know, you've been here on this show from the beginning. You have been right along with us when, you know, people were yelling about console sales as the end-all, be-all. Oh, my goodness.
Y'all finna say you need to hit that up.
Sovereign, it just popped up. Shout out to Sovereign for hitting up that super chat, brother. He said it'll be interesting to see what syndromes the ponies will be diagnosed with after the so-called proxy wars. Could be profound.
Pony flux. He call them pony flux.
Yeah. Hold on. Could be profound. Go, you know what? K-Mega, you know the deal. Go ahead. Say,
and
shout out.
Connecticut education system.
Yeah, I know, right?
No.
I went to a Catholic school, too.
You know what I'm saying? Look,
post-traumatic stress.
Yeah. He's saying that basically that they're going to be very stressed with what's going on because really, it's just saying that these stands is going to be. It's going to go crazy after this, and being a lot of.
I like his hashtag
and just upset because of the situation that's going on with them, because every bit of their rhetoric has been shut down and slapped in their face, and they have to do a 360 every damn time to make these crazy points to saying, at one point, you know what? This is why PlayStation is not going to ever do this. It's because they care about the hardcore. Then then PlayStation shits on them about it. Then next thing you know, they come back and they say, well, it's different now because everything is changing. It's just different now. Don't worry about that. You worry about Xbox. Stop it. That's exactly what this is, right? So, listen. I mean, we can't stress this enough.
Dude, it's what we've been saying for I don't know how long.
We've been saying forever. And what's the saddest part about this is that I've been saying this about a whole bunch of people in the gaming community that people listen to these guys, these content creators and stuff, and it's supposed to be about dignity, but it's not. They don't have it. They won't, look, everybody's not going to be right. There's been times I've been wrong, plenty of times. Everybody has been wrong in one, by making predictions on certain things or said something like this and been adamant about it. But at least we can come out and say, oh man, I was wrong about that. I'll take the L for it. Mm-hmm. They refuse to take any L's, but they get more L's because of the fact that they because they think that people don't, because people don't show their receipts, it's because people don't take you seriously. You're a gimmick. You're a joke of the week. You're a T-shirt of the week. You're nothing but just entertainment at this point. So listen, and it's funny because Sony has been saying this. Sony said this back in 2017, I believe, where they basically said the stuff about that they were finna go take this model. I remember I said that, and those stands went crazy and posted and called me all types of names as usual. And Sony is just, they're not copying off of Microsoft. They're not doing this. I'll stop it, Omega, all this crazy stuff, right? Now the CEO comes and says the same thing again in 2020, and it's either crickets or they're talking about Dreams. Like I said, like they love this game from a distance. Oh, look at the Metascore for Dreams. Don't look at this over here. Don't look at this article. Don't look at that. Don't pay attention to that. Don't read that information. You don't want to talk about that. And then if that's not the case, then it's 106 million. Oh, they got more active users than Xbox Live. Check it out. So it's still more. Sony is still more superior. It is the most ridiculous argument. It's like talking to 5-year-olds. It's like talking to like a little preschooler. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Admit that you were wrong. Take it and just deal with it. If you're a gamer like you claim to be, you're going to have to acclimate just like every Xbox fan has to as well. The point of the matter is that they let this be known of what their strategy was. And if Xbox fans liked it or not, they did it. But they told us this was going to happen. This is what they were going to do. This is the new wave, the new era in gaming. And if we want gaming to thrive, if you want Xbox to thrive and to keep being around, then this is the new norm. That's it. And Xbox's parent company is Microsoft. They got so much money they could take a lot of losses. Sony can't. Sony stumbled into this. Sony stumbled into this generation, and lo and behold, because of the profit that they did, because they're in the Bloomberg report, Sony. The PlayStation 4 was about $388 to manufacture, and they got $381 or something like that. So that's what I'm saying. It was under $20, but they still made a profit. They're not going to make a profit off of this one. They can't, because the parts are too expensive, and for them, and what they're afraid of is that Xbox is going to put them in a squeeze, because if the Lockhart is a realistic thing, that's going to undercut the PlayStation 5, and then we're going to actually see who's going to be loyal. Are the casuals is going to love the PlayStation infrastructure that much to say I'll eat this $500 or this $450 console, while Xbox has got this potentially Lockhart for $400, or will those casuals say, you know what, I'm going to do just like I did in 2013. I'm finna go to the cheaper product. It's not going to be as powerful as the Series X, and it's not going to be as powerful as the PlayStation 5. But what this offers me is, you know what I'm saying, I can still get good quality for my 4K television that I'm going to get, and I still save me some money.
I think Pred said it best in the DM, and maybe I'm just throwing it to Pred real quick, because he was like, "What if Microsoft undercuts them?"
Right,
well,
that's
dude,
what I'm saying.
with the
money
rumors,
is there.
Yo, Crispy,
That's
with the rumors that I've heard when it comes to the Lockhart, if the Lockhart is more like about the 7.9 T-flop margin, if it's close to 8 T-flops, right? That system, $100 less than the PS5, but kind of still right around there in terms of power, that will make it really interesting on what console gamers will go out and buy.
Well, think about this for a second. The Xbox One X, not Series X, Xbox One X has 6 T-flops. Okay, it's so you think about that, and then what do they say? We need to put a better CPU in it. So you up it a couple T-flops and then say, okay, we put a better CPU in it too. What does that make that console? A next-gen console, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I understood what Crispy said at the end. It was funny what he said, but I understood what he was saying. If you know what I'm saying, Microsoft it seemed like they figured out something with this of knowing how to customize these chips and all this other stuff. I think they're going all balls to the wall with the Series X to give the premium product, but this Lockhart, which is probably nothing more but a souped up X,
that's the wild card right there.
That's the wild card, and let's just say that they'll undercut themselves in a way because they'll know that they'll get a lot of return back if they drop it if it's under $400. Like if they listen, because the X is going to go down in price. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to stay the price that it is by the end of next year. So if they just go ahead and say, look, we made a custom X and it's all the bells and whistles, and we'll drop it to you for $350. That man, what is PlayStation going to do with that? There ain't nothing they could do with that. So, and again, it's also
graphics don't matter, K-Man. Graphics don't matter.
When to people's wallets, it don't. And then that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be very interesting because we're going to see with these so-called people that these so-called analysts that has all these theories and shit and know that they talk about numbers all the time and think that they know every damn thing. It's going to be funny to see what the casual and the hardcore are going to be, because I already see PlayStation fans already bitching saying, man, I don't want to pay $500 for no PlayStation. I'll just hold on to my PlayStation 4, or I'll just wait till the Pro goes now.
Hold on. Even with inflation from what's been going on from 2013 to 2020, that $100 is pretty comparable to $400 in 2013, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, you know what I'm saying? It's and now if you pay attention to the markets and stuff, it seems like we're about to get ready to get back into another recession here coming up soon. People gonna keep their money tight to them, and then it's just also these companies are not that Xbox already and PlayStation knows they're not gonna sell what they, what I'm saying, there's 100 and some million PlayStation 4s out there. They know they're not going to sell nowhere near that with the PlayStation 5. So of course they're going to do the same thing that Microsoft was saying that the stands was over here criticizing Xbox for, but now we found out the PlayStation is doing the same thing. Is like, look, we want to keep the PlayStation 4 viable as long as we possibly can. And what I fear for them, what I'm saying, for Sony, not for anybody. I mean, as gamers, we're cool, but what I fear is that they're going to have their 360 moment, because the PlayStation 4 is so popular that there might be gamers that don't want to just take that leap yet, because just like there was people that didn't want to leave the 360 and jump over to the Xbox One.
Well, that's why they're doing cross-gen for like the first year, the same way that Xbox is doing forwards compatibility. I mean, it's two different roads that lead to the same kind of like location. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the same thing, but in a different way, pretty much.
And that launch lineup is going to be kind of key as well. Like, you drop Halo 5 or whatever it is.
Halo Infinite, 90. Man, that's
Halo
huge.
Infinite. I keep saying Halo 5. You drop Halo Infinite, that's a huge game, and I don't know what Sony's gonna, challenge that with. You don't know. So, coming out at launch, I think like going if it was me, I would do a undercut PlayStation, whatever the fuck they're doing, do it $50 cheaper from the launch date through the holidays, because that's when most people buy consoles anyway. Like, just do it that way for that whole time period, and then drop the price of everything else. And even if some people aren't picking up a PlayStation 5, they may pick up an Xbox X, because it'd be fucking dirt cheap at the time. They can still play the same games if they don't want to drop the whatever the extra cash is on a Series X. So I think they should just undercut them. I think they should just roll this out and wait until the very last moment to drop the price. If they
that's what they're doing. I mean, I know that Microsoft can't. I mean, I know that Xbox may have a different idea with something, but I know that Microsoft also, they got to play cards with Sony, because Sony is a customer because of the partnership that they got with the Azure servers. So they're still getting the money from Sony in one way or another. And so you don't want to do your business partner like that by totally being a dick to them. So you soften the blow a little bit, hit them with a little something, but you'll make sure that you're competitive this time. So that whole Azure thing, because if you look at it from the wider lens, Sony has now started playing ball when they were absolutely adamant that they weren't. Backwards compatibility. Who cares about that? Oh, we're doing backwards compatibility. Crossplay. Who wants to do that? Oh, we changed our mind. We want everybody to play. We want everybody to play. Now they're also doing the generational thing, and they're going to start putting their games on PC, and of course they're going to restructure what's going to go on with PlayStation Now. So they're playing ball like Microsoft want them to. And I understand PlayStation has got their own thing. They've been doing all this, but the way that PlayStation has been acting here lately, as being the market leader, they haven't shown any type of gumption, any type of sterner stuff. Only thing they've been doing is holding on their hands, waiting for the competitor that your hardcore stand base be saying that it's the third place console. Why pay attention to them? But the company that you over here riding for so much, they are waiting for the lesser competitor. What is that telling you about what's going on with Sony right now? It's
like I said earlier, like they've never put their front foot forward. They wait for everybody else to do.
No. So you know what I'm saying? Xbox look like they're playing ball the right way. Everything is looking at this point like they got all the cards in a row. They've been strategizing for this for a while, and just kind of like how PlayStation did with the PlayStation 4, they did everything that they wanted to do to try to get that bad taste of the PlayStation 3 era out the way. And the one thing, like I said, it's just so reminiscent of last gen or this gen. The PlayStation 3 community just left. You barely hear people talk about the PlayStation 3 PlayStation 3 anymore. It's all about the PlayStation 4. And I guarantee you the Xbox fan base is going to jump off of the Xbox One as quickly as they can and jump onto the Series X or to this Lockhart and not even talk about the Xbox One era. So it's that's why I feel like it's kind of vice versa right now. We'll just see. We'll see, man. It's going to be really interesting though. All gamers are going to have a good time though.
Nice. And guys, unless there's any other comments on this, I think we could wrap it up. Crispy Pred, anything else you want to say about this subject, or are we going to wrap it up and go play games?
We can wrap it up.
I think we're hearing games right there.
I know Pred wanted to talk about Jeff Keighley. Let Pred have his little moment to talk about Jeff Keighley, and then
that's all good.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, man, let Pred, because Pred wanted to go in on that, man.
Well, we all know Jeff Keighley he's going to be the host for the PS5 unveiling, so he can't do two of those, man.
Woo, he sure can't. He sure the hell can't. So. All right, man.
But it is Friday night again. Huge shout out to the chat, guys. We heard some craziness, man. We heard some amazingness tonight. If you haven't done it yet, slap that thumbs up button. Let people know where you were Saturday night during prime time. You were hearing K-Mega translate Latin for everybody out there. Oh my goodness. Absolutely amazing show. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We got a game, but we got to do our outros, man. Like I always say, like a 40-year-old with a comb over, we got to get those plugs in. And I am going to start with my brother, Crispy. Crispy, did you take my advice and start streaming more on Mixer? What's going on with that? And, let people know where they can go to talk games with you, brother.
Mixer's got a lot of work to do, so I'm good with that. But in the end, you can find me at CrispyBomb on Twitter, CrispyBomb28 on Xbox Live. Hit me up. Like, I always welcome more friends. You can find me on the next podcast every Saturday night, and Retro Renegades Tuesday night, 7 p.m. This week it'll be on Supersonic's channel, so come check us out. We're very not topic related. We
not at
talk
all.
and just have fun with gaming and talk shit to each other. I mean, it's a fun time.
Dude, a couple weeks ago I had a blast going in with you guys and just talking about any random thing that popped up. It was a lot of fun, man.
It's a fun time. I mean, we don't care. Like, yeah, we get onto topics. We really do. Like, eventually we're just like, oh, fuck it. Like, let's talk about something that's relevant right now. But it you know, we just bullshit with each other, and that's what's fun about it.
And I will say, huge shout out to Graphic God. Graphic God, while playing those games, you got to play more Tiger Heli from the NES, man. You got to play more Tiger Heli, brother. So that's my only request right there. But yo, great thoughts and opinions tonight, brother. And I already can't wait for next Saturday and hear what you have to say about our future topics coming a week from now.
Yeah,
bro.
let's go, baby.
Let's go. Yeah. And next on the list, my brother Predator, which he was feeling under the weather, but I don't think you can really you can. I didn't hear any of it, to be honest with you, when he had the mic. So huge shout out for you, brother, for being professional and not sounding sick. Why don't you let people know where they can go to talk games with you, and if you're doing any special guest appearances, anything like that throughout the week, man?
No, I'm not doing shit the rest of the week. I'm still sick and I can barely talk. So just be here next Saturday, man. We'll be live and doing our thing. So I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, Predator_HOS, and MySpace, and wherever the fuck else I'll be at. I'll be where I'm at. I'll see y'all next
Tinder
week.
and Netscape and AOL. Yeah.
Friendster.
All right. And,
Pornhub.
oh, wow. Wow.
X-Hamster.
Yeah. All right, Pred. All right. And we're going to my brother last because he's going to be taking 2 shows off. I guess you know, the lady wants to get some quality time with him or whatnot. So K Mega, it was a lot of fun tonight. 2 shows off, dude. What are you going to do, bro?
And then you know, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
No, man, just sit back and chill, man. Just do my thing. I'll still be, you know, you'll still see me maybe streaming every once in a while, something like that. But I definitely will still be around, just taking away a break from the podcast. Got things I got to do, got to take care of stuff. So it's gonna be good to take a break, but definitely check me out when I come back, and check out my people, man, at the next podcast next week, and whoever the guest is going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, I'm working overtime to make sure that the special guests have that extra energy and that I don't give a fuck mentality, and I'm just going to share my opinion.
It's got to. Then if that's the case, it's got to be like Mikey Barra, Aaron Greenberg, something like that. That's the only, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some kind of entity from outer space, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
no.
no.
Powerful entity, something like that, you know what I'm saying?
Are we in the Halo universe?
Something like that, yeah. Bring the Didac, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Have Locke come in there and take my place. It'll be great. Anyway, so check out the GRG podcast from this past Friday. Hell, just check it all out. Just press rewind, sit back, listen to it, have some good laughs, and go follow everybody. Go check me out on Twitter. Come follow me on Twitter, and since I've been streaming a lot lately, come and check me out on Mixer, KMega45. You'll get to see if the beard is real. Fear the beard, my man.
Dude,
Fear
I
the
saw
beard.
that on social media today, and I'm like, what the hell is going on about K-Mega's beard? I'm like,
man,
Get that beach fellas out of your face, bro.
Man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So I don't know, man. People out here, they more worried about men than they are their own women. That's a problem.
Oh,
so
no.
we're gonna keep doing it, but everybody have a blessed weekend, man. I'm gonna be doing some gaming and yeah, that's gonna be later on. That's gonna be later on in the week, sucker. So yeah, we're gonna be having that popping off.
That's why he's taking Saturday off next week.
Yeah.
So X-Man knows what's popping off.
Oh,
We out, man. We out.
Nice. And as usual, guys, huge shout out to everybody who checked out the show live, and huge shout out for people who can't check it out live and who check it out, later on during the week and stuff like that. Guys,
I got one more thing, and I haven't done that in a long time. I haven't interrupted you.
No,
like that
you
in a long
haven't, man.
time. I haven't done that. Okay.
I
yeah,
instantly felt the same way that when you used to do that to me, though.
I know. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't what I was going to say, but I'm going to say it because this is what I used to say every time I interrupt you. Big shout out to Intro Media Gaming, but but no, that wasn't what I was going to do. Was anybody that's interested that wants to come and try to join us Sunday night for a Sunday night fight. We're gonna be playing Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, Tekken 7, and Battle for the Grid, Power Rangers. So come and join us. Have a good time. Let's get to fighting. Xbox, you invited. I know Bam is coming. Lady Infamous says she's coming back. So it's gonna be on, man. And
I'm down for the MK. I'm not sure about the other games, man, but the Mortal Kombat, I'm down with, man.
Yeah, so come and get this work,
baby.
man. Yeah, Crispy, come. Hey, UK Dazris, you've been hiding from me, man. I've been waiting for you because you said
Dude,
you were
we've
gonna whoop my
all
ass,
been calling
and you've
him
been
out,
hiding.
man.
If it's not MK10, that's the problem.
I know. And yes, my boy Yobi Dren, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we appreciate it, man. You the man. So anyway, we out.
Nice,
Sorry.
nice. Yo, it is Saturday night. The gamers got a game, man. We got to get the controllers in our hands. Again, huge shout out to the chat. Yo, let people know about the next podcast. Let your parents know. Let your in-laws know. This is where you need to be every Saturday, 7 p.m. Let's get this show hitting the stratosphere. But as usual, thank you guys for hanging out with us, and I'm going to end the show the way I do every week. We will check you out next Saturday for the next podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
We are
Dance off, baby.
out.